What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol TLRY for Tilray Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, yes, this will, of course, be a bit of an update, and the main thing to discuss is, of course, the large breakout from today's session. If you just peep at the 30-minute chart here, certainly basically straight up, right? There was no pullback, no consolidation whatsoever. Very, very impressive move all on. Of course, really solid volume down below as well. This brings me to my next point, which is that there really wasn't company-specific news that made this move unfold, right? Early on in the morning, before the bell actually rung, there was talks about the president of the company in Canada being appointed, but, that really didn't have an impact, right? If we look at the 30-minute chart, you can see that for the majority of the morning, so here's the start of Tuesday here, really nothing was going on in this box, which I've just drawn, until there started to be some more social buzz about Tilray here, no pun intended, I suppose, which really led to volume picking up, and the supply and demand kind of worked itself out where prices do move higher when there is a large demand for some of these lower float stocks, okay? So that's kind of why the move happened here. Obviously, you're here for a technical analysis, though. So the main thing to point out from the daily is the fact that we broke the resistance trend line. Now, that's noteworthy because it's been in effect for quite some time, and we really haven't even attempted it in a recent period of time, right? So it's been a while. The last touch was really way back in here. This little bounce that we got never really resulted in a touch to the resistance trend line. So now that we're above it, that of course puts into play the 50 SMA, the blue line of course, which is tying in almost perfectly right now with a horizontal area of resistance at $12.25. That's the first target overhead. After that, it's all about 13. Now, why 13? Because that was the prior range from right in here. So to me, a back test of that range, basically this type of move, could be met with some sort of resistance, right? As people who want to get out for break even that we're accumulating in this box here, they sell their position here, right? Trying to get out break even, that leads to a little bit of a pullback, right? So 13 is the next major number to watch out for. If we accept inside of that range, though, that's where things get really interesting because as we know, technically the target should be the top end up around 1475. So again, I'm not advocating that it has to get to like this area right here in the next day, 2 week, or even, month, but I am saying from a technical perspective, that would be the sort of target to look at if we can recapture 13, okay? So those are some longer term thoughts. Let's of course take a look at the 30-minute session here and see what unfolded in terms of Fibonacci. So from the low of the move up to the high, what we'll find is that the 38.2 was never even tested, right? Obviously, the only pullback that happened here was the last 30-minute bar of the day, and it never got anywhere close to that $11.15 mark, or quite simply the 38.2. So to me, it's all about the 50%, which is more closely tying into a daily level, right? That's that 1102. So let's clean up the fibs and talk in terms of scenarios. Right now, what I would watch for if this is going to pull back would be, do we support at the 1102? Not only is it that daily level, let me go ahead and zoom in on that. So you can see it was prior support in here, then acted as resistance in this general zone. So if we pull back into it, right, it would stand to reason that when resistance is broken, it turns into support, right? The other thing would be it's a back test of the resistance trendline breakout. So to me, that's the icing on the cake and why that 11 number is so important. So be on the lookout for hammers that print, indecision dojis that print, basically things that make you question, right? Is the pullback ending? Can we flip long over the highs, then get back up into these upside targets with a tight stop just underneath the lows? 11 is the number to watch. So those are my thoughts here. If we do see good volume remain inside of Tilray, I don't see why this couldn't continue higher. If you want a quick estimate, very rough, right? Basically what you're looking at is, somewhere around 5 million shares per 30-minute bar if this type of move at this type of pace is going to continue into tomorrow's session. So keep a tight eye on volume, keep a tight eye on 1102 on any pullbacks. To the upside, we have the daily 50 SMA and then 13 as your targets above. That's going to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it or learned anything new today, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.